dear ladies and gentlemen. The title of my presentation is Conversational AI as Inauthentic Other, an Explorative Analysis of the Ethical Challenges. And I will start with the rise of the AI companion. So, in 2015, after the unexpected death of her best friend, Eugenia Kudia developed a conversational AI system meant, as she stated, to fill the void left by the premature loss of Roman Mazurenko, her closest friend. Kuida used the collection of text and audio messages with her best friend as training data and developed a chatbot aimed to answer her messages in the same manner Roman would have done it. Initially, the app was meant to have no other users. It was just a confronting way to grieve the loss of a friend, she said. Then Kudia decided to make the chatbot available to the public. As people started talking to Roman, we just saw that they were opening up and building an emotional connection, Kudia declared. 1 year later, she launched Replica, a customizable app, communication app, which currently has 25 million active users. Of course, Replica is not the only platform of this kind. Che, Anima, Character AI, PI, etc. are just a fraction of the existing alternatives. Through these platforms, users have the capacity to interact with a conversational AI agent that tries to simulate a wide range of personas: a friend, a child, a relative that passed, a partner someone has recently broken up with, and many more. Conversational AI systems are not limited to companionship platforms like Replica. In healthcare, they provide mental health support through platforms like WeBot, offering real-time cognitive behavioral therapy guidance, and the example can continue. All these examples represent a significant shift in how technology interfaces with humans. These systems, based on NLP, natural language processing, and machine learning algorithms, are capable of simulating highly realistic conversations, providing to users interactions that feel personal, human, and emotionally engaging. Conversational AI and human perception is stated in a workshop held at Radboud University, where Pim Hasselager, professor of brain, cognition, and behavior, emphasized the peculiarity of an AI system which is often overlooked: the complete lack of sentience. Despite great processing capacities, conversational AI executes commands or interacts with humans only through calculation modalities, without any capacity of experiencing or understanding the actions performed. Hasselager defined these systems as inauthentic others, as empty vessels, indicating that conversational AI is nothing more than a pure computation systems, regardless of what they might be considered by users. Research on human behavior highlights our tendency to attribute human characteristics to robots or AI systems while they do not have them. This human frailty drives us to oversize conversational AI capacities and perceive or relate to such systems as to someone rather than as to something. Besides, this tendency is not necessarily linked to a system's performance to simulate persona. Even Joseph Weizenbaum, the creator of ELISA, the first world chatbot that could do not more than repeat information back and ask for more details, wrote almost 50 years ago. What I had not realized is that extremely short exposure to a relatively simple computer program could induce powerful delusional thinking in quite normal people. While these claims about human perception in relation to conversational AI are rather oversimplified, they indicate at least that the relational facet of human nature might sometimes be deceived during human-AI interaction. To further explore the relational aspect of human-AI interaction, the terms authentic and inauthentic other will be defined in the following lines. So, authentic and inauthentic other are terms which are not defined in the contemporary literature. However, if you want to define inauthentic other from a pure technical perspective, then it can be defined as a computational tool engineered to simulate human-like characteristics and utilize them in interactions with humans. However, inauthentic other is a context-bound term whose connotation is lost when it is utilized outside the theological discourse. From a theological perspective, the term gains its whole meaning only when it's situated in contrast with the expression authentic other, which is a synonym for the Christian Orthodox understanding of the word person, written with or without a capital. The word other must be also emphasized. It is contained by both terms and implies interaction, relationality, and most importantly, communion, which from an Orthodox perspective underscores an intrinsic purpose that goes far beyond a mere exchange between agents. The theology of the Orthodox Church offers a rich corpus of writings that talk about that. From an Orthodox standpoint, a person cannot be viewed in isolation. It is fundamentally shaped by the relational dynamics that define the human existence. Correspondently, communion is characterized by mutual exchange and reciprocal engagement of persons. As the Romanian theologian Saint Dumitru Stăniloae states, the person exists in communion with the other persons in such a way that their lives intertwine. I cannot exist without the other, and the other cannot exist without me. There is no joy in a life isolated and separated from others. We can never live alone. We need someone. We need an other. Because happiness lies in communion, in knowing that you are not alone, that someone cares about you, and that someone is interested and involved in your life, end quote. As such, relational and real communion is fulfilled only in interpersonal communion and relationality between minimum two authentic others. It is a relational of reciprocity in which every other is recognized, affirmed, and valued, while in its turn is recognized, affirmed, and valued by a different other. As we live in a fallen world, relationality rarely implies communion. We often miss the target or misdirect the true purpose of a relationship. However, relationships between authentic others have the capacity to achieve communion. It depends only on the free will of those involved. But in the interaction between an authentic and an inauthentic other, neither communion in Christian sense nor relationship in secular sense can be achieved because an inauthentic other lacks by definition all the prerequisites that are required for such a purpose. Therefore, the dynamics between an inauthentic and an authentic other remains nothing more than an exchange of data between a human user and a computation system done through an anthropomorphized interface. When it comes to the ethical considerations, the rapid advancement of AI capability transforms the ethics of conversational AI. Governments, university, public sectors, organizations, research institutions publish guidelines and ethics assessment frameworks to ensure that AI is developed and utilized responsibly. However, to determine to what extent a system is safe, transparent, or trustworthy remains a milestone that requires continuous effort and close collaboration between developers, ethicists, and standardization regulatory bodies. Setting aside all these topics and the wide plethora of ethical challenges that can be addressed within the conversational AI discourse, I would like to discuss about the facet of the conversational AI in the context of the illusion of emotional reciprocity. So, there is no debate that within the human-AI interaction lies no emotional reciprocity. However, the interaction with an anthropomorphic interface can be misleading. While basic anthropomorphic features are utilized to ease the process of human-computer interaction and make the digital interface accessible to simple speech and text like ChatGPT, some AI systems like companion bots, AI toys, and robots are designed to simulate deeper, more emotionally resonant interactions. At the beginning of my presentation, I mentioned this replica. this app that is able to simulate personas and give users the feeling of belonging, of being valued and cared. Various factors, from the suffering of losing a child or a partner to loneliness or even pure boredom, convince people to engage with inauthentic others and create bonds with them. But how valuable and what kind of intrinsic purpose might serve a pretended emotional responsiveness for a human being? When we feel appreciated or care, does it matter if the affection and empathy that comes to us is only pretended? Should I care whether I interact with an authentic other that will genuinely care, or as long as my experiences are real enough, is this irrelevant? From a philosophical perspective, would it be sufficient for me to consume the other as means to my own ends? Or do I need, as a relational being, to interchangeably resonate to the joys and the sufferings of others, seeing them as ends in themselves? The answer I chose is given by Saint Dumitru Staniloae, quote, "We need the presence of someone, the presence of the other. I need the other and the other needs me, because the other is far more important to me than I am to myself," end quote. Therefore, while AI can provide a sense of empathy, the presence of an authentic other is making the difference. The reciprocity is only illusory, and because in true communion, the other is far more important than I am to myself, there is no place for objectification or instrumentalization of any kind. The understanding of true human communion becomes even more significant when we consider the implication of using AI to replicate lost loved ones. For example, creating an AI companion that simulates someone I loved and lost will separate me from the true self of the person that passed. Instead of praying for the person and continuing in this way my relationship with the person, I create a surrogate, a replacer of someone which continues its own existence after death, as the Orthodox Church is teaching. I will be left only with the illusion of reciprocity, depriving myself of the great opportunity to remain in communion with the departed person through praying for her. Consuming the illusion of reciprocity might provide some temporary solace, but with the great price of being detracted from the true communion with an authentic other. In this sense, true relationality transcends physical presence and continues through acts of memory and prayer, which affirm the eternal value of the person rather than reducing it to an algorithmic imitation.
Mihai, you have 2 minutes.
Okay. AI can definitely serve as a meaningful tool in this specific sector, but only if it's used for recollection, as means to help individuals to preserve and access memories, encouraging reflection and prayer for the departed. If it's used for replacement, then conversational AI undermines the fundamental nature of authentic human relationships, creating a poor facade of emotional reciprocity. This substitution will lead, as mentioned, to a misdirected focus toward an illusion rather than an authentic other. I will stop here without any conclusion, but making an invitation to everybody to collaborate together and try to explore these challenges related to conversational AI. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mihai.